So you're at the point where you're thinking about getting your gun dog, whether it's your very first gun dog or you've owned them before and you're going out to get your second or your third or your fourth or your fifth. There's four key factors that we like to talk about when thinking about style and type of dog that you should go look for. And I want to talk about four key factors today. The first one is, and especially if you're a first-time gun dog owner, before you even think about going out and looking at breeders, genetics, the type of retriever that you want to get, is you need to sit down and have an honest and realistic assessment of what you've got going on at home, specifically with your schedule. So with gun dogs, it's a must-have that you carve out some time every day if possible, if not at least 3 to 4 days out of the week where you've got some dedicated time to spend with your gun dog. So you need to look at your schedule. Do you have that kind of time that you can give the dog? If you don't, do you have some things that you can give up in your schedule to free up and create some time to spend with your gun dog? So sit down and have an honest and realistic assessment of what you've got going on at home, and can you really commit that kind of time to your gun dog? If the answer is yes, the next thing you want to think about is what style and what type of retriever is going to be the best fit for you at home. And believe it or not, there's all kinds of different styles and types of retrievers out there. You've got dogs that are high drive, you've got dogs that are a little more laid back, you've got very highly biddable dogs. There's all kinds of different options out there for you to go take a look at. So part of your assessment is think about what's going to fit you the best at home. For example, if you're a novice and you're brand new to dog ownership and you're brand new to handling, you're probably going to want to go out and look at genetics that are producing very calm, highly biddable dogs that are going to be forgiving for the mistakes that you're going to make in your handling. And for the first year or two, if you're new to it, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So you want a dog that's going to be able to handle those mistakes well and basically forgive you for it. If you've got a higher drive dog, it's going to be more difficult for you that first couple years as you're learning your way through dog handling. So that would be an example. On the other hand, if you're an experienced handler and you've had 4 or 5 or 6 dogs and you've got a good feel for going out and training and handling a dog, then you might want to look at some genetics that are producing some higher drive, higher energy dogs that are going to have a lot of flair out in the field, but require crisp, good, clean handling skills. So take a look at that, make an honest assessment of what you feel is going to fit your lifestyle the best, and then go out and start looking at those genetics and talking to those breeders that are developing dogs that are going to fit that slot for you. The next thing we want to talk about when you're going out and looking at genetics is what to look for in those pedigrees, what to look for in the genetics. And what you're going to see in most good gun dog lines when you look at those genetics are titled dogs. In the US, you're going to see things in the pedigree like FC, NFC, AFC, which stands for Field Champion, National Field Champion, Amateur Field Champion. On the UK side, like what we have here at Brookstone Kennels, you're going to see in the pedigrees things like FTCH, Field Trial Champion, FTW, Field Trial Winner. And when you see those kinds of things in the pedigree, what that's telling you is you have in the bloodline accomplished dogs that have gone out and competed in field work and have proven themselves dogs that are going to be good gun dogs. That's important. You want to see that in the pedigree, because what that does is that gives you a high percentage that genetically those traits are being passed on down to the pups. And that's what you need. It's very difficult to take a pet dog, for example, and take them out in the field and expect them to do a lot of gun dog work. Vice versa, even though gun dogs make good pet dogs, you probably wouldn't want to go out and buy a dog that's heavy in the pedigree with field trial stuff and try to make a pet dog out of them. So study those pedigrees, talk to the breeders, understand what you've got in the lineage, and then you can make your decision based off of that. The last thing we want to talk about, number 4, and this is probably the first or the second most important, what you want to think about. Once you've narrowed down the genetics that you feel are going to be right for you, it's time to schedule a visit with that breeder and that kennel. And it's important that you do that and you go look at the parents of that litter that you're taking a look at. If you can get there early enough, schedule your visit enough in advance that you can see the dam working along with the sire. And go out and have a look. Have that handler give the dogs a full workout. You want to see them go through all the motions. Study the dog's personality. How do they interact with the handler? Are they noisy? Are they calm? You want to understand the whole picture around those parents. And the reason you do is because everything you see in that parents, there's a high likelihood that's going to be passed on to the pups. So if you see something in those parents that you don't like, there's a good chance it's going to show up in the pup as well, so you may want to rethink that particular breeding. Let's talk about the sire and the dam. It's important that they both have the right genetics that you're looking for, but on the sire side, once that breeding is done, the sire's job's pretty much over. He's half the genetics, and that's important, but you really want to study that dam, and the reason is the dam has the most influence on the pups. If you think about it, she whelps that litter, and then she spends the next 4 to 5 weeks with that litter. And that whole time, those puppies are learning her personality, how she interacts with people, everything that she does throughout her day, those pups are learning from that dam. So she has the most influence on them. So when I go look at a set of dogs, I really study that dam. And the question I ask myself is she one that I would take home today? And if the answer is yes, then that's a litter that I definitely want to get a deposit down on. She's the most important. The last thing I'll mention is once you find those genetics and you say, yes, that's the one I want, that's the best one for me, get your deposit down as quickly as you can. A lot of things happen when you're with the breeder. You can have small litters, you can have a litter where you need to hold a few dogs back, you may have some warranty situations with that breeder. And if you're down on that list and some of those situations happens, you're likely to get bumped. You're gonna have to wait until they do the breeding again. So it's important, as soon as you find those genetics that you like, get your deposit down with the breeder straight away, and then you'll be all set to go.